Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we move forward with our final run through of Doom of Dimension reveals. Prior to these two cards, I believe we're at 16 open slots in the set. So after these two new Dracotail cards, we will be left with 14 slots. And, with Dracotails being here, I would assume that there's also going to be one or two yummy cards alongside one or two canine cards. Keep in mind, all three of these archetypes are going to be meta relevant as soon as they touch down in the TCG. They already have been in the OCG for a couple of months now. So, I'm not hoping for anything like out of this world crazy from these waves of support, but maybe some nice utility without, pushing the power level of these decks too much. But obviously we have a new monster. We also have a brand new trap as well. So let's see how we go. All right, first off, we start with Dracotail Phrixl. That's how we're pronouncing that. Phrixl. It's a level 2 light spellcaster effect monster. 800 attack, 1500 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card each once per turn. It's also level 2. I don't know if this matters, but like maybe some sprite synergy and helping you make Sprint in the deck could matter. I don't know, but sometimes that can be nice for a deck that I'm not certain had level 2s in it prior to this. Because the other girl that fuses is 5 from hand. The one that fuses on field, I want to say, is a 3. And the normal summons, I think, were more like 4s. I think, but that's just off the top of my head. All right, anyway, this card has 2 hard ones return effects. If this... Oh, wait. Doesn't this stat line also have synergy with... some charmer stuff? Aren't there charmer cards that have synergy with spellcasters with the charmer stat line? Not the 1850-1000, but the other charmers are, I think, exactly 800 and 1500. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there might be other charmer cards, and it's a spellcaster, so could be extra synergy there. I don't know. I'll have to find that out later. All right, 1 or 2 effects. Hardness return. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target a Dracotail monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then return 1 monster you control to the hand. Okay, nice and fair. Like, you're going to get a body, and it is still a +1 because we consider hand advantage and field advantage to all be part of your general advantage. So the card on field, you don't lose it. It just gets moved from field advantage to hand advantage, and you get the body back from grave, which is cool. Doesn't negate the card either. So if you're reborning any of the Dracotail monsters that have effects on summon, they are still able to trigger here. You can also reborn the fusions with this if you so choose. So that's extra utility there. Pretty cool. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion summon, you can set 1 Dracotail spell or trap from your deck. That's the classic effect that all of the Dracotail monsters have. Still a really good effect because this deck just fuses out the booty hole. Listen, this card does not have an effect that fuses, but theoretically, I think the idea of this card is more fuel efficient fusions, right? If this card is a one of in the deck because it's not really a starter card, are we able to go through lines where we're reborning one that is a fusion monster, like one that gets us a fusion, right? The other new monster, not new, but the other monster in the archetype that's like a quick effect to fuse on field, being able to reborn him after he's used his effects turn 1, and now he's on field for his quick effect. And this card goes back to the hand. That way you just have the full fusion material going on. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's a solid card. I think it's exactly kind of what I was hoping for with this support, that like nothing too crazy, but is this a nice one of that allows us to fuse in scenarios with an extra fusion material? It's a +1. We'll take it. Actually, it's a +2 because then even once you fuse with it, you also still get a free speller trap. All right, let's see what this other new speller trap is. I think this deck already has 2 traps that are like okay, like they're not out of this world good, but one's like a pop and one's like a negate, basically. I think off the top of my head, that's how I remember them. This is Dracotail Sting. You can only activate 1 card of this card's name per turn. Target a monster and or 1 spell or trap in your opponent's graveyard. So you can just target 1 of each. That's cool. Banish them. Then you can place 1 Dracotail card from your graveyard or banishment on the bottom of the deck, except for Sting, then draw 1 card. Yeah, no complaints on this card. This is cool. It's just extra utility. like I said, I'm pretty sure the other traps that exist for the archetype are one's like a removal trap on field, one's like a negator on field, not an omni or anything like that, but still. And this just gives us more versatile interaction, being able to hit graveyards, and hitting a speller trap and a monster is kind of cheeky. That could actually, raise the ceiling of this card kind of nicely. And you also draw a card, which I really like in a deck like Dracotail, because you can draw the in archetype level 5 quick fuser if you don't already have it in hand, plus the non-engine you're playing, the monster hand traps you're playing, because that's kind of what this deck has to play. A monster hand trap lineup, because you need generic bodies to be able to fuse with, to be able to play in a lot of scenarios. So very cool. Not bad, not mad with either. I think these both fit exactly in line with kind of what I was hoping for. Um, from this new support, just nice utility for the deck without pushing the deck like crazy. I can already, I feel like we're already headed down the track of like, we're going to get like one really good fusion. And I think it's like the one thing that feels like it might be missing from the archetype. I like both of the fusions that already exist. I don't love them though. This is a deck that has like, can make a lot of okay interruptions, but does not have a single like oomph like interruption to fall back on. And that'd be the one thing that feels like it's kind of missing, is like a real, legitimately solid boss monster. I feel like that might be coming down the line, and maybe in the next core set we'll get that. But for right now, these are just nice, solid cards for the deck. I've also not played the deck. I've not tested it. It's not even out yet in the TCG. We still have like 2 weeks till it drops. So these are just my impressions from somebody who's not played the deck yet. But let me know your thoughts down below. If you've already tested or this deck pretty well, let me know what your thoughts on these two new cards. Where do they kind of land for you, and how much help are they going to lend the deck going forward? Anyway, expect something for Yummy, something for K9, and then still probably 10 more cards aside from that. Hopefully Konami finishes strong with a handful of cool cards here. They have released some pretty hype stuff over the last week, so we'll see how they finish. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel for more things from me down the line, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.